While many calibers slowly fade into the background as new technologies emerge, the .357 Magnum has remained a powerhouse in the world of firearms. Even in an age dominated by 9mm pistols, the .357 still holds its ground with an unmatched reputation for stopping power, versatility, and reliability. So what makes this cartridge so enduring? In today's video, we're diving into the origin story of the .357 Magnum, how it rose to legendary status, and why it continues to be a go-to choice for those who demand real-world performance from their handguns. Before we get started, I'd like to thank everyone for their support. Thank you. Whether you've already subscribed or are considering doing so, it actually means a lot. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, 365 Dust. Let's rewind to the early 1930s, a time when law enforcement needed a more capable tool against increasingly violent criminals. While gangsters were arming themselves with powerful weapons and even early forms of body armor, police officers were still relying on special revolvers that often failed to stop threats through car doors or heavy clothing. This gap in firepower drove firearm innovators, including Elmer Keith, to push the limits of handgun ammunition. By extending the .38 Specials case and increasing its powder charge, engineers at Smith & Wesson developed a new cartridge that fired faster, hit harder, and penetrated deeper than anything law enforcement had at the time. When the .357 Magnum hit the scene in 1935, it immediately made waves. With muzzle velocities exceeding 1,300 feet per second and energy outputs of 500 to 700 foot-pounds, it was far superior to anything in common use. The first revolver designed specifically for this cartridge, the registered Magnum from Smith & Wesson, wasn't just powerful, it was a work of art. Each gun was finely crafted, often resembling a custom piece. Law enforcement agencies, particularly those in rural or highway patrol roles, quickly adopted it due to its ability to penetrate car bodies and disable fleeing vehicles. Soon after, the FBI and several state police departments followed suit, recognizing the .357 Magnum's effectiveness in stopping real-world threats. It was more than just a new cartridge, it was a revolution in self-defense firepower. What made the .357 Magnum such a sensation wasn't just its power, it was the balance between performance and practicality. A standard .357 load, especially in the 125 to 158 grain hollow point range, delivers ballistic energy that outclasses common semi-auto rounds like the 9mm or .45 ACP. While a typical 9mm might generate about 350 foot-pounds of energy and a .45 auto around 400, the .357 routinely pushes 500 to 700. That extra power means faster incapacitation, fewer follow-up shots, and better penetration, especially when paired with modern bullet designs. Veteran law enforcement officers often recall how devastatingly effective the .357 was in the field. Its signature blast, often described as a flash of lightning followed by a thunderous roar, left a strong impression, not just on shooters, but on anyone who faced its force. The .357 Magnum's reputation wasn't built by the ammo alone. The revolvers chambered for it played a huge part. The Smith & Wesson Model 27, a descendant of the original registered Magnum, became a status symbol among lawmen. Later, the Model 19 offered the same power in a lighter K-frame revolver, making it easier for officers to carry all day long. On the Colt side, the legendary Python emerged, often hailed as the finest production revolver ever made, with its incredibly smooth action and refined aesthetics. Ruger's GP100 and SP101, along with models like the Taurus 605, built on that foundation with robust, heavy-duty designs meant to handle even the hottest Magnum loads. Today, these revolvers are still in high demand, proving that even in the era of polymer-framed high-capacity semi-autos, the .357 Magnum revolver isn't just surviving, it's thriving. A common question that often comes up is, does the .357 Magnum still have a place in today's world? After all, Most modern law enforcement agencies now rely on 9mm semi-automatic pistols with magazines that hold 15 to 17 rounds. But the answer is a resounding yes. The .357 Magnum is far from outdated. While advancements in bullet design have certainly improved the performance of smaller calibers, they still don't match the raw power of a full-strength Magnum round. In fact, even newer cartridges like the .357 SIG were created to emulate the ballistic energy of the original .357 Magnum, though many still argue the revolver version delivers more punch thanks to its longer case and heavier bullet capabilities. And then there's reliability. A well-maintained revolver doesn't suffer from the same issues as a semi-auto. No jams, no feeding failures, no magazine springs to worry about. You load it, pull the trigger, and it fires. That mechanical simplicity is exactly what many gun owners appreciate, especially those focused on reliability over capacity. It's true, carrying a large frame revolver with a 6-inch barrel isn't ideal for everyday concealment. But fortunately, compact .357 Magnum revolvers do exist, designed specifically for daily carry. Revolvers like the Ruger SP-101 and Smith & Wesson Model 640 come in snub-nose formats with 2 to 3-inch barrels, offering powerful firepower in a more concealable package. Of course, there are trade-offs. Short-barrel .357s tend to have sharper recoil, louder muzzle blast, and more muzzle flash, which can make follow-up shots trickier, especially for newer shooters. But with proper training and regular practice, these compact revolvers can be serious defensive tools. The appeal is simple. They're easy to carry, reliable, and hit hard when it counts. One concern often raised about the .357 Magnum is overpenetration, the idea that a round might pass through a target, through a wall, and potentially endanger someone beyond. While this is a valid point, it's important to understand that any high-powered cartridge can overpenetrate under the right conditions. Thankfully, modern hollow point designs are engineered to expand and slow down, reducing the risk of pass-throughs. In ballistic gel tests, especially with barriers like heavy clothing, defensive .357 loads usually fall within the FBI recommended 12 to 18 inches of penetration, offering the right balance of stopping power and safety. Sure, any bullet can overpenetrate if you miss, but that's true for 9mm .45 ACP or even 10mm rounds. That's why shot placement and load selection matter more than caliber alone. There's no denying it, the .357 Magnum kicks hard, especially in smaller revolvers. Some shooters struggle to control rapid follow-up shots. That's why many experts recommend a step-by-step training approach, starting with .38 special loads in the same revolver. Since most .357 revolvers can also fire .38 special and .38 plus P, this gives you an affordable and low recoil way to build your fundamentals: grip, trigger control, sight alignment, before moving up to full Magnum loads. Once you've mastered the basics, you can gradually train with 8 plus P and finally step into 157 Magnum loads with greater confidence and control. This not only improves your shooting skill, but also saves money on ammunition during training. The point: .357 Magnum isn't just for home or personal defense, it's also a top choice for those who spend time outdoors. Many hikers, campers, and hunters rely on it as a trail gun, capable of deterring medium-sized predators, and in the right configuration, even defending against black bears. With the right ammunition, a .357 revolver becomes a compact yet powerful sidearm, much easier to carry than a full-size hunting rifle or a massive .44 Magnum. Its versatility shines here, allowing you to load everything from light .38 specials for small game or plinking to heavy Magnum rounds for larger threats. That kind of range and adaptability from one platform is what makes the .357 a survivalist favorite. Everything we've covered points to one simple truth: the .357 Magnum is far from obsolete. In a world filled with high-capacity 9mm pistols and modern semi-autos, This legendary cartridge still earns its place, thanks to its reliability, unmatched stopping power, and mechanical simplicity. Whether you're using it for self-defense, as a trail gun, or simply because you appreciate well-built revolvers, the 357 Magnum delivers performance that's hard to ignore. It's not just about nostalgia, it's about a proven platform that continues to serve those who take their protection seriously. If you decide to add a .357 Magnum revolver to your collection, remember, consistent training is key. Choose a quality firearm that suits your hand size, recoil comfort, and lifestyle, and invest time into mastering it. The most powerful revolver in the world means nothing without the skill and discipline to use it effectively. Take inspiration from stories like the Greenwood Park Mall incident, where a well-trained citizen stopped a threat under extreme pressure. While that wasn't with a .357 Magnum, the principle is the same. Success in a defensive scenario relies just as much on mindset, marksmanship, and practice as it does on caliber. If this video helped you learn something new or rekindled your appreciation for the .357 Magnum, consider subscribing to the channel 365 Dust.